In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Today we will continue to reflect on Saul, who became the first king of Israel. We will look at some of his qualities before he was chosen and anointed as the first king of Israel. Israel was being led by judges. And now Samuel was their judge. A man of good reputation, a man of integrity. As Samuel got older, he appointed his sons to be judges, to eventually succeed him when he's no more. The people of Israel, they had no problem with that Samuel, because he was a man of integrity, a man who feared God. But his sons were not like Samuel. They were corrupt. So the elders came together and met up with Samuel and said, appoint for us a king. Because we cannot trust your sons to lead us. They are corrupt. Appoint for us a king like the other nations. Of course, that displeased Samuel. And that also displeased God. Because it was not just Samuel they were rejecting God. For them, the problem was Samuel's sons. When I was sharing yesterday, I shared with you, the problem was not Samuel's sons. It was deeper. They were having a deep-rooted spiritual problem, which they did not recognize or just refused to admit. So they said, give us a king, like the other nations. So Samuel went to God, and God said, give them. They want a king, then give them. Now, you must keep in mind, it was not God's will. It was something that the people wanted. It was something that the people demanded. They said, give us a king. Give us a king. So God was saying, okay, if you want a king, go ahead. If that's what you want, I'll give it. Not because that is my will, because that's what you want. So I'll give it to you. Sometimes in life, it's like that. We all know that God has a beautiful plan for each one of us. Just like He had a beautiful plan for the nation Israel. But sometimes we are so influenced by the world. We go to God and then we demand, saying that this is what I want. God might say, hey, that's not my will. That's not my plan. But then sometimes because of our peer pressure, we may insist that what we want is what we want. No compromise. So God says, fine. If that's what you want, go ahead. And you can have it. I remember a sad story. There was this two young people who were planning to get married. And they met the priest for counseling. In the course of the counseling, the priest felt that they were not compatible. They were not compatible. Of course, they were courting, but during the counseling session, the priest felt that they were not compatible. So he told the parents, because both the parents were from the same church, he met them and said, I think they are not compatible. If they get married, it will not last. Of course, the families got very angry with the priest. And they said, how dare you try to stop our children's marriage? They have been courting for some years now. They love each other. So the priest said, fine, I've told you what I feel I should tell you. So since they were persistent, I insisted that the marriage should go on. So the marriage went on. Within a couple of years, they filed for divorce. Because it was not God's will. It was what they wanted. In life, we can make that kind of a mistake. And so they wanted a king. So God said, fine. Now, I want to highlight a couple of qualities from the life of Saul. And I want you to keep this in mind as we go on reflecting on the life of Saul, who became King Saul. I always believe that when we see a mistake, we must learn from it. Now, please turn to verse 5. 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 5. When they reached the district of Zuph, Saul said to the servant who was with him, come, let us go back, or my father will stop thinking about the donkeys and start worrying about us. Now, Saul was from a good standing family. You can read that in verse 1 of 1 Samuel chapter 9. So, the donkeys had gone astray. So, Saul, with a servant, decided to go and look for the donkeys that were lost. And they must have traveled and traveled. One commentator says they must have traveled miles looking for the donkeys. But they could not find the donkeys. So Saul said, hey, it's okay. Let's forget about the donkey. Let's go back. Because my father would start worrying about me. So we see this beautiful quality in Saul. Now, he was a young man. He could have easily said, let the old man worry. Let us continue and continue to look for the donkeys. But for him, his father was very important. The feeling of his father was very important. He said, hey, my father, start worrying about me. I don't want my father to worry about me. Let us go back. A beautiful quality in Saul. Now today, those days, when we did not have handphones, we were able to contact our children. Now we know how to contact our children. Please, somehow we knew how to contact them. But today, children have a handphone. Sometimes they have more than one handphone. And then they are out, and then the parents are worried, and they try to contact their children. They try and try. The children don't take the call because the children are so busy with their friends, either in a club or just enjoying the fellowship with their friends. So the minute they see his father or mother's call, they just ignore. Or of course, when they come back, then you ask them, hey, I've been trying to call you, and what happened? Oh, I off my phone, battery ran out. So I this is how this is what I used to do. Of course, Jeffrey is now 32 years old. So I've never put a curfew for him. I never put a curfew for him. Even while he was doing his clinical here at HSA. But what I'll do, I just wait for him to come back. Yeah, that's what I do even now. When he comes back for holidays, of course, you used to go out and meet up with friends. So he knows that Appa will be waiting for him. So he initially used to say, Pa, you go and sleep, Pa. I can take care of myself. I said, I understand, son, but I'm still your father. You may have grown up, but I'm still your father. But I'm not going to tell you what time you must go, what time you must come back. So he knows that Appa will be at home. He'll be waiting for me. So he has his own curfew time. So he's, after the time he'll call me and say, Appa, I'm on my way, I'm about to leave. It's always nice to have children who are concerned about their parents. And that's a great, it's a source of strength and joy to parents. And Saul was someone like that. He was concerned for his father. He was definitely concerned. He said, hey, my father, he might start worrying. Good qualities, something that we can learn. Always believe that we should not just write off anyone. There's always something good in everyone. If we can learn the good things, I think the world will be a better place. In fact, our relationships will be better and stronger. We start looking at the good qualities in one another. So he was very concerned about his father, one good quality. And verse 21. Now Samuel has already announced that he's going to be the leader for the people of Israel. Verse 21. Saul answered, but I am not a Benjamite. But am I not a Benjamite? But am I not a Benjamite? From the smallest tribe of Israel, and is not my clan the least of all the clans of the tribe of Benjamin. So if we see a spirit of, I want to look at it from a positive point, a spirit of humility. Hey, yes, I come from a good family. My family is of good standing. But look, hey, why are you saying this to me? I'm a Benjamite. He says, I'm a Benjamite. And he goes on to say, and it's not my clan, the list of all the clans of the tribe of Benjamin. We see a spirit of humility. He says, why are you saying this? Hey, you can choose someone from the tribe of Judah. But why are you saying this to me? I come from the smallest tribe, the smallest clan. Of course, some may read it as an inferiority complex, but I read it as a kind of humility. One very important quality any leader should have. So Saul demonstrated two very good qualities. One was concern for others. He was concerned for his father. And here, there was definitely a spirit of humility. And then, of course, Samuel told him that you are the one. You are the one. And tomorrow we will see how God confirmed. Because for Saul, I come from the smallest tribe, smallest clan. Now, how do I know that God has chosen me? It's not you who have chosen me. So tomorrow we'll see the confirmations that God gave to Saul, that it was he who had chosen Saul. to be the first king of Israel. But today, I just want to emphasize it. As we go on reading about Saul, of course, Saul had a very sad ending. But at the same time, I want to emphasize that there were some good qualities in it. But sometimes I've come across individuals who are always negative. They say, no, you cannot pakai him. They're always looking at the negative side. But it's good sometimes to look at the positive side and also try to learn from that. And of course, I would have hoped that these qualities in Saul would have remained right to the end. But somewhere along the track, he lost these qualities that he exhibited before he was chosen as the king of Israel. So today's lesson, I just want you to take note of this. Look for the good things in your friends, in your relations. Just don't be blind to the good qualities because of prejudice or anything. Look at the good things. And our relationships will be very, very fruitful. God bless you. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.